The devil tried hard to break me down. Went through my trials and came out with a smile. I'm battle tested, let me tell you how the devil tried hard to break me down. Went through my trials and came out with a smile. I'm battle tested, God didn't let it take. We all got.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to Sacred Singleness. Oh my God, can you guys believe it is 2026? And this is a space where we honor God, wholeness, and love in every season. And I am so genuinely glad that you guys are here. Like, really, really glad, because if you press play on this podcast today, I believe it's for a purpose. And this season 4, episode 1 of Sacred Singleness, I am deciding to call this episode New Year, New Me. And before your mind goes anywhere, no, this is not one of those episodes where, we're just going to sit around recapping what happened last year, reliving the pain, or even explaining why things didn't work out. We're not doing that here. Not in this year. We are releasing what didn't serve in 2025 and stepping into a new 2026 with expectancy, with joy, with purpose, with happiness, with peace, and with a lot of expectations from ourselves, from God, and just moving forward, right? So this season is just basically that forward motion, about clarity, about peace, about allowing good things to exist without suspicion, guys. And most importantly, this episode is about stepping into a new year while walking in sacred singleness, not as something to rush through, but as something to honor. So whatever you're doing, whether that is driving, cleaning, laying in bed, or taking a walk, take a deep breath with me, right? Come on, let's inhale and exhale. You're not late, okay? You're not behind. You're right on time. And this is for all listeners, women, men, single parents, single people, married people. It don't even matter. If you're married and you're listening, hey, I hope something of this blesses you, okay? So let's talk about this word, right? The word sacred for a second, because I know I named my podcast Sacred Singleness, but what does sacred really stand for? And sacred means set apart, right? It means intentional, handled with care. So sacred singleness, blah, blah, blah. I already started getting my words mixed up. Sacred singleness is not about being alone. It's about being undistracted. Guys, I'm telling you, the devil is out there working hard. Do you know how many distractions there is out in the world that are keeping us from our purpose? Because when the devil knows that we're heading into a positive direction, or that we're heading towards something that God has for us, everything will distract you with it's like a shiny object, right? Anything will distract you from getting to your path. And so it's a season where your decisions are yours, right? Your prayers are uninterrupted and your growth isn't being negotiated. And I really want to break this belief that singleness is just a space or the space before real life begins, because your life doesn't begin with a partner. Your life doesn't begin when you get married. Your life doesn't begin when you get into a relationship. Your life begins right now with you. You were brought into this world alone, meaning that, you didn't come with someone else. You were brought into this world alone, and you're going to be leaving this world alone as well. You're not taking anybody with you. You're not taking anything. Okay. So you are you, and you need to live your life. And so, like I said, your life is happening right now. And so this season is shaping how we love, guys, okay? How we choose, how we discern, and how we hear God. And it is so important. And you know what's funny? This year, I've been asking God for so much discernment. I think my discernment is very good, but I don't think it's at its best. I don't think it's at its maximum. And it's very important to discern, especially when you have people around you that are coming into your life and you don't know if it's someone that was sent by God or someone that was sent by the devil. Because again, even things that look good, that speak the word of God, isn't always from God. So we have to learn how to discern what people are speaking onto our lives, what people are bringing into our environment, if there's something weary or you feel some sort of like uneasiness when you come around someone, that is most likely not from God. Best believe you better pray that prayer. God, if they're not for me, please remove them expeditiously. That is one prayer that works like instantly. Okay. God will show you, God will remove them. And if, I don't know, but just discernment is what I pray for this year. And if you let it, okay, it can be one of the most grounding, clarifying seasons of your life. So just release, guys. Release whatever it is that's holding you back. Release whatever pain you have. Release whatever it is that you're holding on to from 2025, and let 2026 be the year where you start receiving, okay? So there's something so powerful about entering a new year without desperation, right? Not desperate for love, not desperate for validation, not desperate for someone to complete you. I have to say, I've become whole. I've worked so hard this past year on just healing. And I have to say, guys, this podcast was not for you guys. This podcast, I started it to heal myself. It was my healing journey. I started to podcast for me so I can release what has been holding me back. And if it helped anybody on the way, bless God, right? But this podcast was really for me. It is really for me. Okay, because believe it or not, I sit here and I re-listen to my own podcast, and helping me listen to myself and seeing the growth that I've had has really done something in me that I cannot explain. And so this year, I'm not setting resolutions from a place of lack. I'm setting intentions from a place of alignment. And I know what drains me now, right? The things that drain me, I've come to the realization of what those are. And so I know what fills me. I know what I no longer entertain. And that's some sort of freedom that I cannot explain. And that kind of clarity, that's a gift of sacred singleness. And what I've been telling people that know me, I'm like, I have so much peace at my heart with certain situations that I thought were going to turn out differently. Like, I have such internal peace that I cannot describe. And that is nothing but God. And so if you don't know what internal peace feels like, even in the middle of chaos, you have not gotten to the place where you need to be. There is some more work you need to do, because when I tell you, once you find that inner peace that is only can be given to you by God, you will never look back. It's something like surreal. I don't even know how to explain it. But I want you guys to name what's good out loud, okay? I want you guys to do that. I want you guys to actually say it out loud if you can. Like, what's good in your life right now? Okay, not perfect, not finished, just good, right? Maybe it's your peace. Maybe it's your healing. Maybe it's your relationship with God that just feels more personal. Maybe it's the fact that you're no longer chasing people who can't meet you where you're at. And that matters tremendously, believe it or not. And, gratitude isn't ignoring what you want, it's honoring what you already have. And when you learn to recognize the good, you stop making decisions from emptiness. And I've come such a long way that I don't make no decisions without God. Guys, listen, I'm sitting right now, just to give a little understanding. I am sitting right now in my car looking at this beautiful view of the ocean, listening to the waves and the cars passing by behind me. And this is a place that I've created to come and speak to God. And it's every time I don't come here, I feel so out of place. I feel anxiety because I feel like I'm not giving God it's the time that he needs. And I've created a place for me and him, and it's very sacred to me. And this is the place where I meet him. Now, God will meet you anywhere, in your room, in the bathroom, in the car, whatever the case might be. But I've decided that I wanted to create a space for me and him so I can come talk to him, pray, and just have a relationship with him more than just the church, right? I crave going to church. Some people go to church just for the looks or whatever the case might be. I go to church because I crave going to his home, the one that, it's called his home, right? I love tending to church, but I do more than just that. And I had to create a space for just me and him where I can talk to him like he's my buddy, and I can come and get peace and just recharge my energy from just the week. So, anyways, I just felt like sharing that. But this year, I'm moving a little bit slower, but I'm moving wiser. And I'm not rushing connections. I'm not forcing chemistry. I'm not explaining my boundaries to anybody. And I trust my discernment more than desire. And so, sacred singleness, it teaches us how to pause, how to observe, and how to listen. Okay. And that skill will protect you in every relationship you ever enter. And I got to say, guys, back then I was like, how do people listen to God? Like, how do people hear God? Like, I don't understand. Like, how can they just say, oh, God told me and God this and God that? Let me tell you, I didn't understand that until I got closer to God. And how do you get closer to God is by, first of all, removing the distractions that are in your life. Meaning that if something is taking too much out of your time away from actually, reading the word, attending church, listening to gospel, whatever it is that you do, worshiping Him and things like that, you're not going to hear God because everything else around you is distracting you. Okay, so once I started to really like lock in and like read my Bible and do studies and like learn it for myself and things like that, I started hearing God. And I don't mean hearing Him like He actually spoke to me or anything like that. I'm talking in the form of Him showing me signs, Him leading me to things that I needed to read. It's something that I can't explain. God talks to all of us in different forms. Whatever form that is, just be grateful for it. That is the gift that He gave you. And so, I don't make any decisions, like I said, without His guidance now. Like, something's troubling me, I go to Him. I ask for whatever it is that I need. And that has really changed my life tremendously. So let's talk about ease, right? Just letting love and life be easy, because some of us associate love with anxiety, with confusion, with inconsistency, and that's just from a broken place and a broken emptiness. So if you're listening to this right now and you're associating love with the feeling of anxiety, with a feeling of confusion, with inconsistency, sweetheart, you are operating from a place of brokenness. And if you feel like that is okay and normal, if you feel like having a relationship that is chaotic and constantly having to debate and making you feel like, oh, we have to fight in order to be in good terms, or, all this and that, that is toxicity at its best. That is not what God has for us. Okay. And so this year, I want you guys to pledge to yourselves that we're letting the good things feel calm. Okay. And we're letting love feel safe. We're letting alignment feel natural. So if it's costing you your peace, it's not aligned. Okay. Simple as that. If it confuses your spirit, it's not for you. If something confuses you and doesn't give you clarity, and you ask God and God still has not allowed you to have that clarity, it's time to let go. Okay. Pray about it and let go, because sacred singleness trains you to recognize exactly that. Okay. So, let's do a little bit of affirmation for the single heart. Okay. So we're going to start with the following. Okay. I have about 6 things that I want you guys to do some affirmations on. Okay. And we're going to pause for a little bit after each. Okay. The first one is, I am whole in this season. I trust what God is building in me. I am not behind. I am becoming. I choose alignment over attachment. I welcome love in healthy, secure ways. I welcome this year with peace and expectation. So, if you're single, okay, and you're waiting, not just for love, but for clarity, you're waiting for direction or just confirmation, I want you guys to hear this. Waiting does not mean stagnant. Okay. Waiting doesn't mean forgotten. Okay. God has not forgotten you. If anything, God is protecting you from someone or something that was not ever aligned with you, or that just wasn't ready to meet you at the place that you were in. Okay. So sometimes waiting is God's protection while He prepares you, or that person that you are meant to be with. So that sacred singleness gives you the space to become ready, not anxious. Okay. And I want this season of sacred singleness to feel like a deep breath, guys. Okay. A reminder that you are loved, okay, that you're grounded, and that you are chosen by your Father. Okay. There is nothing missing about you. There's nothing delayed about you. Nothing accidental about this season. Okay, there's seasons in our lives that are seasons of pain, that are seasons of breaking you down to prune you, seasons of God just taking you through this entire renewal state, so you can be birthed again, okay? Rebirth, I should say, into a whole new person. Okay. So I want to thank you guys, okay, for being here. And I want to thank you for choosing wholeness. And this is a sacred singleness season, and we're just getting started. So I want to go ahead and pray really quickly over this. God, thank you for meeting us right here, not in what's missing, not in what we're waiting for, but in what is. Thank you for this season of sacred singleness, for the quiet strength it builds, the clarity it sharpens, and the wholeness it restores. As we step into this new year, God, we release urgency, we release comparison, we release the pressure to become something for someone else. Instead, we receive peace, right? We receive alignment. We receive confidence in who you are shaping us to be. Teach us how to enjoy this season without guilt, how to steward our hearts with wisdom, and how to trust you without fear. Let this be a year where love feels safe, where joy feels steady, and where obedience feels light. Remind us that we are not behind, we are not forgotten, and we are not delayed. We are becoming. Cover our hearts, guard our discernment, strengthen our boundaries, Jesus, and prepare us not just for love, but for purpose, fulfillment, and peace. We enter this year whole, hopeful, and grounded, and we trust you with what's ahead. Amen. So that's it, guys, for season 4 of episode 1. I will see you guys on the next season, or not the next season, but the next episode that I will be dropping soon. Until next time, bye, guys.
Yeah, the devil tried to break me down, but it ain't working.